I was born in Los Angeles, in Boyle Heights, and I went to school all through high school in Boyle Heights. And it's where I met my husband, who lived about 3 blocks from me. We met when we were 7 years old. My husband, Jules Chaikin, became a very well known trumpet player and a studio musician, and then a contractor who did the Grammys for 22 years. And my husband, who, we stayed married for 54 years. And till death did us part, as they say. He championed me and my work. It's not to say that he was always happy that I was out when he would have rather had me be home making dinner and taking care of the kids, because that is a dynamic that every woman deals with and every marriage deals with if there's two working people in it. But he was pretty far ahead of his time as far as being, conscious of what women were suffering and what women had to deal with. And so not only did he support me, both emotionally and financially, he taught me. He taught me those things that women never learn. Like, I had to run a business. I had to end up having my own film company and running a business and hiring people and having, to deal with unemployment insurance and taxes and all of this stuff. He taught me all of that. So when you have somebody like that in your life, boy, it's a gift. I have felt that I had lived a very blessed life, almost as if my life had been planned out for me by some higher power, and I've
Wow.
been very grateful for it.
Very cool. I appreciate you sharing all that. It's always cool for me to hear stories and anecdotes and learn more about Jules, and I'm sure people listening appreciate that as well. What maybe are some things that he learns from learn from you?
He learned patience from me. He was the most impatient person in the world. He wanted everything done now. He didn't like to wait for you. If we were going to go somewhere, he was out the door at exactly the right moment. If you were late coming out the door, you'd get chewed out for it. He was a part of his job in the studios was to keep the record session going on time. And time is money in the film and record business. And so that was his job, and he was brilliant at it.
It's a
So
hard job.
it's a hard job. But when you bring those things home, they don't work as well.
I
So
see.
so that was something that he learned. And when he watched me make films that took 8 and 10 years to finish, he once said to me, "I can't tell you how much I admire your ability to stick to it. I never would have been able to do that."
That's a yeah. You answered my next question because I was going to ask where does your I guess you didn't maybe necessarily ask, but I was like, where does your patience come from? But you did give me an example of your patience on display and how he like can learn from it. But where does the patience come from? Or are you just more patient than him and not that patient?
Well, this is going to sound a little weird, but this is part of my ooga booga. When I was a little child, I had an image of myself as a very old woman. And that image was to me like a sign that I was going to live a very long time. And because of that, I didn't ever feel that desperation to accomplish. I felt more in the moment. And when I started meditating, that really put me in the moment. That really had a profound effect. And like I said, the 60s the good part of the 60s was very important to me. It grounded me. It gave me a good relationship with nature and with time and with the universal aspect of our lives. And I felt that that was a gift that I had been given, that I saw myself that way so young. And so now here I am, the woman that I dreamed of when I was 6 years old, an old woman and still kicking.
I see that. No, that's great. It's almost like I was going to say, like being. How do I take this? Like impatience is like oh, I lost the thought. I had something really good, but I lost it, unfortunately. It'll come
It'll
back,
come
but
back.
it'll
Have
come back.
patience.
Right. I will I'll try to. I'll try I'll try to. But like, just I think being impatient in like the moment, it, no, it's gone. It's gone. It'll
I mean, there is a good side to impatience. It motivates you, it gets you to do things. It makes you step outside yourself. Sometimes when you're patient, you don't have that burning edge that other people do.
Oh, but the way you describe patience, it's almost as if like you can see the big picture. Like people who are patient, I think, can see in a lot of ways, can see the big picture. They don't lose sight of what's important, their values, their goals in the long term. Because whatever's happening in the moment, it's probably not going to super affect. It's most likely not going to affect the long term thing. So it's like, why even dwell in the feeling of impatience? Like it's like you're losing sight of the big picture, which is something that you literally never lost sight of, is the big picture, the grand picture of where your life was kind of going, it sounds like.
Right. That's that's kind of it.